The Miami Boat
Show is an excellent opportunity to see a good part of the production of Chris Craft.
Il cantiere è una parte importante della storia della nautica da
The shipyard is an important part of the history of American pleasure craft. The first boat was built by Christopher Columbus Smith in 1874.
Dal 1927.
Since 1927, with J. Smith as president, Chris Craft became a first manufacturer of mahogany motorboats. To the charm of those models followed that of the first fiberglass constructions in the 70s.
I mean, Chris Craft is a wonderful old brand. In fact, we say it's America's boat builder since 1874. So it's tremendous heritage, tremendous history. It's a piece of Americana. And what we try and do today with our whole line of boats is reflect that heritage. So our boats have a very classical styling. They are made with the best materials, the best steels, the best woods.
Today, the shipyard proposes models that have the ambition to excel in performance, but above all style.
We're trying to sell boats that combine our passion for design with a market need. Right now we focus on boats between 21 and 44 feet. It's the medium to small segment. We are looking at building bigger boats, bigger cabin boats. We're looking at building lobster-style boats. We're looking at ski boats. There are many categories that we could get into with the Chris Craft brand name. Has a history and the credibility of being able to develop a product for any segment of the boat market. And this is a huge advantage that we have, unlike most other boat companies that tend to be focused on particular segments, whether it's fish boats, whether it's runabouts, whether it's cabin cruisers, whereas Chris Craft could do all of those.
Tutti I modelli hanno in comune un'attenzione particolare per la bellezza.
All the models have a special attention to beauty in common, the attention to detail, but also to safety, because a boat must be pleasant both when you lay in the sun and also when you surf. It must make you feel secure.
Chris Craft
has had the courage and the ability to revolutionize even the sport fishermen, like this. This model is the Catalina 30. What is the advantage of this mix between fishermen and luxury? That you have a boat able to go on the high seas and that also has great class. This is not the steering position of a fisherman. This is the command post of a yacht. Look at these quilted armchairs, anatomical, and the helm, very elegant and also classic. Now, I would never go fishing with a boat like this, but come to think of it, it has the nautical qualities of a fisherman and the comfort of my living room. You can decide whether to have the cockpit completely uncluttered or you open several seats. But the most amazing thing about this fisherman, that is less than 10 meters long, is the cabin with a double bed. These boats are made with modern construction processes, but are set up by artisans who seem to have inherited the skill of those who preceded them in almost 150 years of history.
The
Corsair 30 is a classic speedboat with pointing at the bow and a cabin below. It's exactly 9 meters long and just over 3 meters wide. It can fit two 300 horsepower outboard engines, but I like to emphasize the stern dead rise, 22 degrees, which means that the hull is deep and passes well on the waves.
Il Launch 34 invece è un bow rider,
The Launch 34 instead is a bow rider, which means in place of the foredeck there is this space. It is missing the shelter, but there are more seats, a comfortable area to lie down to sunbathe and chat.
boats are an object of passion, and we've got to trigger that passion when an individual, a potential buyer, sees our boats. They're objects of beauty, they're forms of sculpture, as well as being functional objects. My team and I, and we are a team of over 300 employees based in Sarasota, Florida. We make these beautiful works of art, which we sell across the globe. We have dealers throughout the United States, we have dealers throughout Europe, Far East, Australia. The brand was always a big brand. It was the world's biggest boat manufacturer for over 45 years.
And now, after many years, Chris Craft returns to Italy, thanks to the importer, Sunrise Marine of Lavagna, an opportunity for us to see them up close.
I love boating, and obviously I love my own brand. And yes, I have a home in Italy, above Camogli on the Monte di Portofino. And my boat is normally moored in Santa Margherita, and from there I take my family on trips across the Mediterranean. Last year we took the Commander 44, which is displayed here in Miami, and we did nearly 1,000 nautical miles all the way down to Naples, to Sorrento, to Capri, to Ischia, Positano, and all the way back. Absolutely wonderful journey. The boating obviously in Italy is fantastic, the scenery is gorgeous, the waters are absolutely beautiful. And the food is incredible along the whole trip. What better combination than a boat and great Italian food?